Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Baltimore's Talking Live. I'm your host, Dr. Q. Co-host is Aaron Green. He hasn't popped up in his seat yet. He's flying around on his paper airplane. When he pulls the cord and lands in his seat, we'll let you know. But he's still on that CP time, as always. We even gave a little bit extra time so they could be on time, be in his seat. But he just didn't do that CP time. Mamma Jam, I'll tell you. But in the meantime, there are a few things, some good news, bad news. Let's start with the bad news. The bad news out of the way. It's only two pieces of bad news. There was a conference deal for us to go to Sirius XM, and five executives. 3 said no, and 2 said yes. Well, 2 who said yes were the ones who came to us with the idea that we would be a good fit for Sirius. I don't want to say the names, because I don't want anybody to say, "Oh, if I argue for me, it's just." Because I really wasn't interested in Sirius or any type of iHeartRadio or anything like that. The producers came with that suggestion. Said, you can get more listeners and add this and add that. And I think the problem is probably the commercials and advertising are not out there. I know the COVID took a lot of money out of the budget for a lot of people, and we have a high overhead. Overhead is kind of high to operate the show. So I think that's part of the problem. And we have a contract deal with Blog Talk, which you just can't break. You just can't get up and leave. And there are other hosts and things like that. There are podcasts, which Blog Talk has been around for a long time, and it's the only company that gives you multiple phone lines and such, whereas everybody else, you have to buy more equipment, purchase numbers, phone numbers, have to call those numbers and phone numbers, which would be no problem once we hit 10,000 listeners. Got that part. Now, the one guy who said yes, I spoke with the producers, Cody in general, and mentioned about the host. Can we get a new host? They said, sure. Second guy came along, and he said, which one is the host? Aaron the host? Because everybody who comes on the show or makes the interviews, Aaron is doing the interview. That was pretty much my idea, to give him more interview experience. I guess that's a good word for it. Critiquing skills. Give me some turbo chewing gum to get that out of my mouth. Anyway, man. Somebody gave me some chewing gum. I guess it was gag gum or something from the dollar store. It starts to liquefy in your mouth, so I had to spit that out. It's like, ugh. Anyway, executive number 3, he said the show needs more of a pick-me-up, which I agree. And that's because the producer, before Cody came along, wrote the style as a trio. We have never had a trio with this sort of what's talking about. I mean, yeah, we did have a trio, but every time we have a third person, they fall through because they get so overwhelmed with the show's responsibility. They say they like the show, they want to help the show, I want to participate. And then you say, okay, come on board, and they come back and say, oh, I didn't know it was going to take so much, or I didn't know it was going to be so much energy and so much time consumption. Okay. Executive number 4 says, get rid of green. The show down. Dragging, long-winded, and does not stick on topic. Now, if they agreed to get rid of Green, the vote would be 3-2, because that was his only thing. And, of course, they're not going to get rid of Green, because that's my deal. You get rid of Green, get rid of me. So just like they do on Shark Tank, he says, oh, well, I'm out. 2 no's, 2 yeses. This blonde bitch, I don't want to say the blonde bitch. This blonde bitch, she says, I really don't like to be on the spot. I really don't know. Ooh, like bubbles are blowing out of her brain. I really don't like to be on the spot. I really don't know which way I'm going to vote. Ooh, well, what does the show entail? What's the show about? What can we offer from Sirius that you can't offer on broadcast? Now, first of all, this is not an interview. I feel somehow set up, because if you didn't know what the hell the meeting was about or for, you didn't have no business sitting at the table. But like I said, there are 5 executives. And if these 2 guys, I'm not going to say their names, if they're the only 2 who are fans of the show, going forward or backward, sideways or whatever, they should never have came to the table with us if they could not turn the other 5. And I'm tired of people keep hearing or keep telling me, third one, if you did this and if you did that, and even if, see, my thing is this, for people who don't know, I don't like half-assed stuff. Even if you tell me 3 people say yes and 2 people say no, I would not be interested. Because as long as there's somebody who's not on board with what you're trying to do, they're going to try to find a reason to cancel. I'm not going to, we have a contract with these people. So I'm not going to jump ship from these people to go to Sirius and have 2 people who say they don't like the show do me in, because we can't come back once we leave. I mean, hell yeah, you can come back, but they're going to stick it to your ass when you do come back. Give you some high-ass rates. I'm going to teach you, motherfucker, for leaving. You know, I don't want that. And everybody says the same thing. And I'm tired of hearing the same thing. Give me something different. All right. So that's the first bad news. He didn't get the deal. Miss Brooks, Radio 1. I'm not a Radio 1 fan. Cody wants us to try again for Sirius. I don't want to try again. You know, first impression is the last impression. And the 2 guys who like this, good, great. I met the one Asian boy. He said he's my biggest fan. I don't know how. I've never met him. But he said he's been listening since season 1, and I'm better than Howard Stern. So I don't know what that is or what that means. I only listened to Howard Stern for maybe 2 or 3 months, one time in my lifetime. And then they changed, and the only reason that occurred is because they changed the time slot on FM radio. Because I was listening to Coast to Coast with George Noory, who I like that show. They talk about the UFOs and government conspiracy, and he has facts, not opinions, to back it up. So I'm good with that. Somehow they switched him to another time and put Howard Stern on that time, on that channel. And that's how I wound up listening to him for 2 or 3 months. When he left, this was before he left Sirius. When he left AM radio and went to Sirius, I stopped listening. Because Sirius, you have to buy a subscription. The only reason I'm back to Sirius now is because the truck that I purchased has a Sirius radio, and they're offering me services for free. I said, okay. So you give me a 3 month free. If I pay the $12 or whatever, I pay the $12 to get that free. I think that's a fair, reasonable deal.